I left halfway fan in the office. Okay, so the deal with the exams is that half of them I have them and half of them I don't have them, and we'll have them back in shop. So I don't want to make you guys get up, but I think it's the only way I can do it. If you guys can just come outside the NPR to the table and make a line, and I can just hand you back. And then if it's not there, then I'm sorry, but we're going to try again.
Have you coming? So relax.
My daughter is correcting it. My daughter is correcting it. Sana is my daughter. Sana. She's a PA. She get it? Yeah. Yeah. That's quick. Announce kiya tha na book money. Yeah. Sorry? No, I don't have my hair.
No test.
Yeah, my daughter said, I am still correcting it. Yeah. Today, no one will come
haven't been. No?
एग्जाम का पेपर लेके आए हैं।
ऐसा वाला एग्जाम की कॉपी
वो कहती है इसके बाद आधे
हाँ आधे चना के
आधे चना के पसंद है। इन दोनों ने ग्रेड किया है ना अलग आपको मिल गया किस का एग्जाम अच्छा
अभी सब बहुत ज्यादा टफ है
That's what she did. From Harry died.
Meat.
Being here.
Out of what? I'm happy. I'll make it harder. No, I'll make it harder. Yeah. Speed up. Okay. The students think that they're getting too. Let me ask you this. I'm not complaining. I'm just. I know I have a lot of this feedback. Let me ask you this. How many hours you spend outside of class?
I mean, the more
weekly,
weeks
no,
I am putting more and more hours.
Since week 1, on average, how many hours have you put outside of class?
At least as much as I'm spending in class. A little bit more.
You're supposed to put 4.
Putting at least 2, I think. 2 to 2.5.
3. So anyone who's at 4 is still struggling, then I'm ready to take into consideration that we're going too fast. Anyone who's under 4,
Complaints on them.
Because 4 is what it was set at. If it's set at 4, we need to see 4. If somebody's up at 5 or 6 and they're struggling, I need to hear that, and I'll take it very seriously. But a lot of people are doing 1 hour, and then they're telling me that they're struggling.
Because see, in the other classes, there is a set homework, so there is no way out. But in this one, because there's no
Yes,
set
I know.
people kind of tend to
That's why it's a year 2 class. People should have got the point that, learn the way of studying, on their own. You can't always, this is a class we can't do. I can't make multiple choice questions for it.
No, of course.
That's the thing. But khair, we'll talk more. I know it's an issue.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give you that feedback again before the class starts, but you know that already.
I'm getting it a lot. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum assalam.
I want to clarify things here.
Yes. Inshallah, we will clarify in the break time.
Not now,
And
just
no,
one
no, no,
small
no, no.
thing. About the others is okay, but like here is a common. Here is a
All right. So let's try something different. Yeah, let me get set up. We'll talk later, inshallah.
Because if you see it, it's easier than like.
In break time, inshallah. Can let's try this. Mina. Mina or Usman, any one of the two. Just tell them to turn the volume on the microphone a little bit down. Okay. And all right. Testing. Good. Yes. Testing. Perfect. Yeah. And this just says testing in Arabic. Alright, so alhamdulillah. طيب, okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to week 8 of Arabic. Feels almost like a extreme exercise program, right? Just need to keep recharging, make sure you're drinking your water, which is doing your homework, taking your protein, all that stuff that you need, right? Alhamdulillah. So how was the midterm to everyone? Some people got their midterms back already. Some people will get the midterm back during the break time, inshallah. So it's on its way. If you didn't get it back, either the brothers are stuck in traffic, or they got the midterm back and they ran away, or something. I don't know what happened here. Alhamdulillah, sisters remain, mashallah. So let me tell you from the get-go today that last week's class was a little bit tough, right? Okay. So from the perspective of grammar, just from the grammatical perspective in terms of understanding a grammatical concept, it does not get any harder than last week's class. No matter how far you go in Arabic, last week's class was the most difficult it's ever going to get. No grammatical concept is going to be more difficult than last week's class. So hopefully that's good news for you. So if you got that, you're going to be okay, inshallah. The bad news is that there is intellectual understanding of grammatical concept. That's one difficulty for some people. The other difficulty for people is memorizing a lot of words, right? And today's class is going to be very painful because there's a lot of words to learn today. Because when you learn the plural, which we're learning today, you have to memorize all the plural words of the words that you already learned before, and they're not predictable always. So you usually were memorizing about 10 to 15 words per lesson. And in this lesson, you have to memorize about 50 to 60 words. All right, so that's the painful part. But there's good news. So I'm going to ease some of the pain. The good news is, two good newses. Good news number one is, when you're memorizing the plural, it is somewhat similar to the singular. So it's not completely new. So it makes life a little bit easier. It's almost like when you memorize 50 plurals and you already know the singular, it's like memorizing 25 words. So it's 50% the difficulty. So not too bad. And good news number two is, on the final exam, if somebody reminds me, I'm going to give you a piece of paper to use on the final, which gives you the singular in Arabic and it gives you the plural in Arabic, but no English translation. So you have the word and I tell you what the plural of the word is. So if you know what the word means, you got the plural there for you. Sound good? All right. If somebody reminds me, inshallah. So that's to make your life easier. You remind me right before the final exam, inshallah.
Make this clear, clarify the
I'm getting there right now, inshallah. So now, if you look last week, we started chapter 8, right? So we started reading chapter 8, and I decided, I went back and I thought about it. I said, you know what? We need to introduce, I've been delaying the plural for such a long time on purpose because I know how difficult it is. And for me, it was really, really difficult because then it just doubles the vocabulary. Now, every new word we learn, you have to learn the plural. And it's like I was memorizing 10 to 15 words per week. Now, technically, I have to memorize 30 words per week. But divided by 2, right? So 10 to 15 plus 10 to 15 divided by 2, because it's 50% the effort. Right? So what I did was I decided, you know what? Let's leave chapter 8 from last week and let's put it in chapter 9. And let's put a new chapter 8, and it's going to be about the plural. So what happened was last week's notes that were uploaded said chapter 7 and chapter 8. And we only finished chapter 7, we read the beginning of chapter 8. This week I uploaded chapter 8 and chapter 9. So what I did was, is I introduced I overwrote chapter 8 with the brand new chapter on plurals. And chapter 9 is the chapter 8 from last week, but with modifications. So all the plurals that we learned in chapter 8, the plural parts of the new rules in chapter 9 were also added. So if you printed out chapter 8, get rid of it and print the new chapter 9. Even though they look almost the same, they're not the same. Is that clear?
So chapter 8 is a new chapter.
Chapter 8 is a new chapter 8, and chapter 9 is a new chapter 9. Your old chapter 8, throw it away. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Khair, inshallah. We're doing chapter 8. We never finished chapter 8. Even the old one we never finished. We just started, right?
Today we're doing chapter 9.
No, today we're doing chapter 8 and 9. Inshallah. We're going to do 8 and a half. 8 and half of 9, inshallah. That's the goal. Okay? We ready? Alright. I am going to need some volunteers, some brave volunteers, inshallah, today, who did their homework. 1, 2, 3, 4. Auntie in the front, you're 4. You're 4, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. MashaAllah. And there's not a single brother that can volunteer. Inshallah. Who did their homework?
I did the chapter 7, and I had the 8.
That's what I mean. You did the chapter 7 homework. You ready to volunteer? Inshallah. Yes. Are you ready to volunteer? Yes, inshallah. You ready too?
Yeah.
Also behind you. You ready? No? Not ready yet. Uthman, you ready to volunteer? No, he's not ready. Okay, we got one brother, mashallah. At least we got one, and we got 4 sisters. All right, let's begin, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Let's just make sure we have some online students who survived. 2 people survived. SubhanAllah. It's not too bad. All right. Alright, so what we're going to do is first we're going to read the text. So let's start with, Uncle, you're volunteer number 5. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Read sentence 1, please.
المسلمون في المسجد والمسلمات في البيت.
Good. Al-Muslimuna fil masjidi wal-Muslimatu fil bayti. The Muslims, meaning the men, are in the mosque, and the Muslims, the women, are in the house. Number, yeah.
Is this chapter what?
Chapter 8.
The new one.
The new chapter 8.
Okay, we're on that.
We don't have the new chapter. We have the old chapter.
It was uploaded.
We printed from last week, 7 and 8. So we're not gonna print it again.
Yeah, but the message on Canvas, did you get the message that said it's been overridden? Wait, who got the message that says it was overridden? Okay. I guarantee you we're not selectively messaging people. Right? Everyone should have gotten the message. I know you sent it. I saw it. So I don't know what happened, but Sister Mina. Sorry.
So you're saying chapter 9 is chapter
Yeah. How many people don't have the new chapter 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could we print 6 of them? We'll print it for you, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll get it for you. Anyone else? We're only printing 6. Does anyone else want one? I know you were embarrassed and you pretended not to raise your hand like as if you didn't do anything wrong. If you really want a copy, just raise it up. Okay, 7. We're at 7, inshallah. All right. So let's continue. So chapter 8. Al-Muslimuna fil masjidi So share with your neighbor for now. Al-Muslimuna fil masjidi wal-Muslimatu fil bayti. Number 2. Volunteer number 2. Auntie in the back. Banatul Anbiya'i huna fil Madinati. The daughters of the prophets are here in the city. Number 3. Ar-rijalu kibarun wan nisa'u saghiratun. The men are old and the women are young. Number 4.
Al-kutubu jadidatun fil masjidil qadimati.
Not masjid.
Masajidil qadimati.
Yes. Al-kutubul jadidatu fil masajidil qadimati. If you look at the word al-masajid, fil masajid, you see the fatha. Maybe on your computer it's not above the letter. Does anyone see that? Or it's above the letter? Okay, it's only on mine. If you're using Microsoft Word or something, somehow it cannot come above the letter. It's just a software glitch. Microsoft is still perfecting their Arabic skills, unfortunately, after 3 decades of being in business. $50 billion revenue. Anyways, so al-kutubu jadidatun fil masajidil qadimati. The new books are in the old mosques. Actually, that's a mistake. Does anyone see the mistake here? Yeah, it should be al-jadidatu, right? The new books. So it should be, just put an al in there, alif lam. Should be al-kutubul jadidatu fil masajidil qadimati. Okay, the new books are in the old mosques. All right, number 5. We don't have, okay. Well, number 1 again.
Man antum wa man hum.
Man antum wa man hum.
Nahnu mu'minuna wa hum kafirun.
Nahnu mu'minuna wa hum kafiruna. Who are you, plural, and who are they? We are believers and they are disbelievers. Okay. Number and my computer just froze. It's number 6, somebody who has it. Number 6, volunteer number 2. Okay. هذه الكتب من هؤلاء الرجال. Now what's the right? Huh? رجالي. Okay. وتلك من أولئك النساء. Good. All right. So these books are from these men. Why don't you read it for me? My computer. Subhanallah.
These books are from these men.
Yes.
And those are from those women.
Okay, very good. These books are from these men, and those are from those women.
What's the word for rijal?
Give me a minute. Let me just figure this out. I complain about Microsoft, and all of a sudden, boom, the tablet just stops working. Bill Gates is like, oh yeah, there you go. You get for buying a Microsoft Surface. All right, view navigation pane. Chapter 8, right? Chapter 8. Got it. Okay. هذه الكتب من هؤلاء الرجال وتلك من أولئك النساء. These books are from these men and those are from those women. So what was the question? Yes, this is a brand new word. This is a brand new word. So if you look at this word carefully, remember I told you that when we wrote the word هذا, I told you that there's supposed to be this sign like this above it, which means it's a long vowel, ha instead of ha, ha. So the same thing, I still have not figured out how to make this little sign in a practical way. So these words have it on it there as well. So we write it like this. And these are very tricky words to spell, by the way, so you gotta practice. Ha, u, la, I. Ha'ulai means these. Oh, I have two hamzas. Yeah. That should be dhamma. Ha'ulai and ulaika. This is not a major issue. Ulaika. Okay. So Ha'ulai means these, ulaika means that. So far we're just reading right now. Just know that this little sign is built in there, and I couldn't figure out how to write it. So just write it in there. Okay. Next one, number 7. Ajalasa rijalun huna la jalasat nisa'un. Did men sit here? No, women sat here. All right, number 8. Good. هل ذهبتم إلى المسجد اليوم؟ لا ما ذهبنا. Did you all go to the mosque today? No, we did not go. Okay, so now we're gonna learn the plurals of all the words that we learned before, and then I'm gonna throw in an additional 20 new vocabulary words for you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So there are no new vocabulary words in this chapter because you have to learn all the plurals. All right. So we're just gonna learn the plurals of the words that we've seen before. So I'm gonna say the singular, and my volunteers are gonna say the plural. Okay. Bait. Anyone from my volunteers can go. Buyut. Good. Rajul. Rijal. Kitab. Kutub. Walad. Awlad. Masjid. Masajid. Actually, I made a mistake here. Add a dhamma on the dal here. So what you're going to notice is, whenever there's a dhamma at the end, do you remember what it means? Yeah. Remember when we were teaching words, when I put in the vocabulary list the name Muhammad, it was Muhammad, generally. Right? And if I put the name Ibrahim, I put Ibrahimu. What's the difference? It's definite? It's غير منصرف. It doesn't take a kasra and it doesn't take a
Al, right? Good. So masajid is one of those. Okay? So not masjid but masajid. Masajidu. Sorry, it can take an al. It can't take a kasra. Can't take kasra. It can't, there you go. It can't take tanween. There you go. Who said? Yeah. So whoever raised their hand beforehand, they can take one, inshallah. Yeah. Masajidu, masajida. You generally don't get masajidi unless I gotta explain that rule still. Yes.
What masajida?
Masajida is fine. Okay, continuing. Talib, Tullab, Bab, Abwab. I want you to think, if those of you who read the Quran a lot, you're gonna know, without even knowing, you're gonna feel these words. You've heard these words so many times before. So Bab, Abwab, Ustad, Asatidha. That's actually a Persian word, but it's been incorporated into Arabic very, very early on because of the Persian Empire. Anyways, Qalam, Aqlam, Wajh, Awjuh, okay, Kabir, Kibar, Saghir, Sighar, Tawil, Tiwal, Qasir, Qisar. You see a pattern? So there are some patterns there, right? Ba'id. So you add una at the end. I'm going to teach you that rule. Ba'iduna, qarib, qaribuna, jadid, judud, qadim, qudama'u. See the u? What does the u mean? Cannot take kasra, cannot take tanween. Right? ثقيل, ثقال, خفيف, خفاف, مسلم, مسلمون, كافر, كافرون, and kuffar. So some words have two plurals, some have three, some can have more. All right, but we're going to teach you the ones that you need to know for now. Mu'min, mu'minuna, nabi, nabiyuna, and okay, do you pronounce this anbiya'u or ambiya'u? Okay, someone from Tajweed class can tell me why is it a meme instead of a noon? Just tell me the rule. What does it mean, Jenna? Exactly. Whenever a noon sakin precedes a ba, you change it to a meme. Iqlab. There you go. Alright, qalb or iqlab. Very good. Where are we? Okay, insan, nas. Okay, the reason why I put a star asterisk there is because the real plural of insan is not nas, but for all intents and purposes, it's nas. Intents, the intent, you know, all intents and purposes, meaning for now, for your purpose, it's nas. Okay, so use it that way, inshallah. Rasul, rusul, jabal, jibal, fam, afwah. What happened to the meme? We're gonna learn that later. That's in next class, next quarter. Da'if, du'af, qawi, aqwiya'u, aqwiya'u. See that? Also du'afa. Yeah. So you're right. We'll leave that for now. Imra'a, nisa. Why is there a star there? Because actually nisa is not the plural of imra'a, but for all practical purposes it is. Yeah, but we're not going to learn that because this is more common. Yeah. No, and this was also plural. So what's the plural of imra'a? Is no, but with the why is it noon? Why isn't any of the original letters there? Anyway, we're not going to get into that. So anyway, it's just there for now. Bint, banat, Madina, mudun, kalima, kalimat, jannah, jannat, shahr, ashhur or shuhur, ayah, ayat, yawm, ayyam, ghani, aghniya'u, faqir, fuqara'u, din, adyan, shay, ashya'u, hadiqa, حدائق شجرة أشجار كثير كثيرون قليل قليلون بعيد بعيدون قريب قريبون قلب قلوب يد أيد. Good. I've never seen more audience participation than in this exercise, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Yes.
Well, you know, like, and Nisa, one Nas. So what are the real plurals?
We're not. Don't ask questions beyond the scope of the class. We just focus on this. Let's not go too technical, too advanced. Inshallah. Everyone will get stressed out. You don't want to stress them out. Inshallah. I'll tell you at break time. Inshallah. All right. Example number 1. المسلمون في المسجد والمسلمات في البيت. The Muslims, meaning the male, are in the mosque, and the Muslims, women, or female, are in the house. This example introduces the sound plural. Okay, this is what's known as the sound plural. It's made by adding some letters to the end of the word. So the sound plural is you take the normal word and you throw some letters at the end. What do they call that in English? Starts with an S, you're right. No, when you add letters at the end of a word, in the beginning it's called prefix, suffix, right? So you suffix some letters at the end of the word, and you get the sound plural. The sound plural does not exist for every single word, so you have to memorize which words have the sound plural. And it would be so much easier if it existed for every plural, because then you don't need to memorize anything. You just add una to everything, and this life is easy. But these are some of the tests in life that you have to go through, and you don't get that ease. So the word, let's take a look at how it works. Look at the word Muslim on the top right of the table. You add una at the end, and you get muslimuna. Now when Muslim is supposed to have a dhamma, muslimun or al-muslimu, that's when you get muslimuna or al-muslimuna. Okay? When musliman takes a fatha, or muslimin takes a kasra, or al-muslima or al-muslimi, whenever it takes a fatha or a kasra, now the plural will become muslimina. Instead of muslimuna, it will become muslimina. So I'll give you an example. An example would be, I found the Muslims. Which one would it be? Muslimuna or Muslimina? Okay, so I wanted to just see if we understood the rule here or not. So we didn't. So the thing is, whenever there's going to be, when Muslim, the word Muslim, when it's taking a dhamma in the singular or plural or whatever, right? The plural is going to become Muslimuna. Got it? Whenever the word Muslim is having a fatha or a kasra, it's going to become Muslimina. Right? So now if I say, I found the Muslim, wajad, what do I say? Wajad tu, right? I say wajadtu al-muslimu, al-muslima, or al-muslimi. Which one? Al-Muslima, it's the object of the verb. I found the Muslim. So who got found? The Muslim got found. Who did the finding? I did. Okay, so this is the doer of the verb. This is the object of the verb. So it takes a fatha. So if I want to say I found the Muslims, do I use Muslimuna or Muslimina? I use Muslimina. So I say wajadtul Muslimina. Okay. If I use the word min, I want to say this is from the Muslims. Hada min al Muslimina. Because it should have had what? Should have had kasra. Because of the min. Right? So hada min al-muslimi, hada min al-muslimina. So if you write hada min al-muslimuna, it's wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is because the word al-muslimuna, the one that you wrote, was supposed to take a kasra. And if it's supposed to take a kasra, it doesn't manifest itself as muslimuna, it manifests itself as muslimina. Let's take a few more examples to clarify that, okay? So, if I want to say, okay, هذا الكتاب لي. Okay, what does هذا الكتاب mean? This book. Li belongs to or is for. Okay, I want to say li muslimin. What does that mean? This book belongs to a Muslim, right? I want to say the same thing. Check mark means I don't want to rewrite the word again because it's the same thing, right? Al-kitab. So هذا الكتاب li I want to make it plural now. Muslimina. Okay. I want to say now. This is not part of this. No. Muslimina. It's always mina. This is always muslimina. Doesn't change. It never takes a tanween or anything. That's just the way it works. Okay. So just understand this. The plural of muslimun is muslimuna. The plural of al-muslimu is al-muslimuna. The plural of musliman is okay. So I'm not getting too much cooperation here. Musliman. Okay, you see that? The word musliman with the tanween here and the fathas, two fathas. What is the plural of the word musliman? It's muslimina. Don't understand why. Memorize why and you understand it later. So the plural of musliman is muslimina because don't rationalize it, okay? The plural, understand my explanation, right? Musliman is singular. Agreed or not agreed? Okay? It takes a fatha, right? And it has a tanween. We agree upon that. Okay. So Musliman, if you want to turn it into a plural, it is Muslimina. Why? Because I said so. Okay? That's it. That's it. Huh? You don't see any fatha, but in the singular, it would have had a fatha. And no, it's not because it has fatha. Oh, I see the confusion. Okay. I see the confusion. I want to explain this to you now. Muslimina, this fatha here, it never changes even if it's supposed to have, even if the singular had a kasra. You know what this is? You know what this is? Remember those words like haza? If you say min haza, does it change? Does the haza change? No. If you say wajadtu haza, does it change? No. So muslimina does not change if it was supposed to have a fatha or a kasra. It applies to both cases. Right? So I'm going to give you the example. Min, if I use the word min before the word Muslim, what do I get? What do I get? Muslimin. Everyone agree on that? If I use the word ila, right, before the word al-Muslim, what do I get? Ila al-Muslimi. Right? Now, the rule here is, see this word muslimina, this word right here? This applies in this case, and it applies in this case. Why does it apply in this case? Because there's a kasra. Why does it apply in this case? Because there's a kasra. It also applies in this case. Why does it apply in this case? Because there's a fatha. So the rule is, whenever the singular was supposed to take a fatha or a kasra, the plural will be muslimina, and it will not change. So if it had a kasra, it does not, if it's muslimin, it doesn't become muslimini. It's just muslimina. Why? Because this ya part reflects the kasra and the fatha. And the waw part of the word muslimuna, there's still a fatha here, right? The waw part reflects the dhamma of muslimun and al-muslimu. So easy way to remember it. You see this waw? Waw looks like a dhamma, right? Okay. So if the singular was supposed to have the dhamma here, all of a sudden in the plural, this dhamma takes hormones and becomes this giant looking waw. Okay? Does it make sense? It's like, you know, it's like the hormones in our meat and our milk. It's non-organic here. Right? So this all of a sudden becomes this giant wow. Right? And it reflects the fact that it was supposed to have a dhamma. The noon has nothing to do with this. Leave the noon out of this. He's not involved. He's a na here and he's a na here. Right? The wow and the ya, these are the real game changers. The real, you know, these are the leaders right here. We got that? Yeah.
This mean and moon rule applies on all the words, right? All the words which take the moon, like kafirun.
Yes. So let's take the word kafiruna. So now, if I say the disbelievers are in the house. How do I say that? How would I say the disbeliever one is in the house? Everyone should know this easily. Al-kafiru fil bayti. You should know that down, like in your dream, it should come to you. Okay? When you're sleeping, it should come to you. Now, we make the first word, al-kafiru, plural. Al-kafiruna fil bayti. You see how that works? Okay. Now let's take an example. I'm going to add the word inna to the beginning of that same sentence. In the singular. Al-kafiru fil bayti. Innal kafir. Singular. Al-kafiru fil bayti. Innal kafir. Ra. Fil bayti. Did we forget that rule of inna? Okay, we remember it now? Okay. Innal kafira fil bayti. Now we make it plural. Innal kafirina. You know why? Because here's the thing. Okay, so we got inna. Okay. Innal kafir what? Ra. Fil bayti, right? Okay. We learn inna, right? We no, we learned it inna. It means indeed, but we don't translate it. The rule, yeah. The word after inna becomes, it takes a fatha. Did we learn it or we didn't? Yes. So we have like 10 witnesses. Yes. Okay. So we take the same word inna, and now we want to make this word al-kafira plural. Al-kafir. Some people said al-kafiruna. Okay. Now that violates what I told you. If you write al-kafiruna, okay, you know what the problem here is? The problem here is, remember what the rule I told you. You look at the singular of this word. It's al-kafira because of the inna. If the singular has a fatha, this waw should not be here. Right? It should be a ya. Right? So we turn this into a ya. Got it? So it should be innal kafirina. We got it, or we need some more practice on this? The rule of inna is the word that comes after inna takes a fatha. Yeah, the subject of the inna, which is the subject of the inna, takes a fatha. Okay. Should I go on or should we take more examples? More examples, okay. So more examples. We take the word mu'min. Okay. We know how to make some sentences with the word mu'min, right? So we say al-mu'minu fil jannati. We got this part, right? What does it mean? The believer is in heaven. Good. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to make the word al-mu'minu plural. So how do I say the believers are in paradise? Okay. Al-mu'minuna fil jannati. Now if I ask you, why is it al-mu'minuna and not al-mu'minina? What is the answer to that?
Because of the Dhamma.
What Dhamma? Where's the Dhamma? On the? Here. There's a Dhamma here on the singular, right? Now the question is, why does this word right here, why does this word have a Dhamma? I'm hearing it. It's the subject of the nominal sentence. That's the reason why it has Dhamma, right? Okay. So now all you gotta remember is, if I give you this example now, and I say, al-kafir, that's a ra. Al-kafir, use your imagination. That's a ra. Al-kafiruna fil madinati. I enjoy your non-political correctness. It's a good, refreshing actually. Al-kafiruna fil madinati, right? If I ask you now, why is al-kafiruna, why does it have a waw? Because it's the subject of a nominal sentence. And the subject of a nominal sentence should normally take a dhamma, but since this is a plural, the hormones cause it to grow out into a giant waw, and then the noon comes afterwards for the plural. Got that? You don't need to explain the hormone part. Okay? Yeah. Now, if I say, I found the disbelievers in the city. Wajadtu. What happens to the word al-kafiruna? Now it's the object of the verb. So it changes to al-kafirina. There we go. Fil madinati stays the same. You got that? Now I say, you know what? ذهبت to إلى the disbelievers. Alright. ذهبت إلى الكافرين. Now if I ask you why is it al-kafirina and it's not al-kafiruna, what would you say? Exactly. Because if it was singular, it would be al-kafiri with the kasra. Why would it be that? Object of what? It's the object of the sentence? No, it's not. It's the what? It follows ila. It's a preposition. So if it comes after a preposition like ila or fi or ala or min, it's gonna have a kasra. Right, so that's why it's al-kafirina. We got that? Now we're better off. We can move on? Inshallah. Alright, so now we just need, okay, that's the male. Now we go and we learn how to make the feminine plural. So you take the word, you could look in your notes. You see muslimatun means a female Muslim. What you do is you remove the ta. There's two ways to think about it. Either you remove the round ta marbuta, and you add atun. Or you can say, you know what, the ta got some hormones and opened itself up and became a big ta, and then alif came before it. It doesn't matter how you visualize it, okay? It's muslimatun becomes muslimatun when it's supposed to take a dhamma. And when it's supposed to take a fatha or a kasra, it becomes muslimatin. So even if it's supposed to take a fatha, it becomes muslimatin. If you add a al, it becomes al-muslimatu. Tanween goes away. If you add a al, it becomes al-muslimati. So let's look at some examples. Same examples. Let's look at exactly the same examples. Alright? So let's focus on, okay, this example right here. Substitute the word kafir with muslima, singular, muslima. What would it become? Okay, one of my volunteers, please. The one that I just boxed, this one right here. Just replace the word kafir with the word muslima. Innal muslimata fil bayti. Good. Now take the plural of muslima and replace it. Yes. Remember, al and tanween don't mix. Good. Innal muslimati fil bayti. You got it? Okay. Now take this example right here. Replace the word al-mu'min with the feminine. Yes. Yes.
because inna is a governor, so it will change into fatha, not.
Exactly. So inna causes the word after it to take fatha, right? But when the word muslimat, because it's plural, when it's supposed to take fatha, it takes a kasra. It's tera, all of these words, tera words basically. They're not sida. They're crooked.
No, we thought that it's supposed to take kasra and take a fatha. Now it's.
Yeah, now you're learning the opposite. So when it's غير منصرف, it's supposed to take kasra, it takes a fatha. In this case, when it's supposed to take fatha, it takes a kasra. It's just these are very few exceptions to the rule. You just have to memorize it. Just memorize it. Don't try to rationalize it. Don't say what's wrong with you. You're crooked. Something's wrong with you. Don't make dawah to the words. Just okay. That's the rule. That's the way they are. Alhamdulillah. That's it. So if it's supposed to take a fatha, it takes kasra. That's just the way it works, right? So let's take another example right here. No, you understand that part, right? That part is clear now? Okay, so that's the way it is. You're going to see more examples. So now, take this example right here and replace it with the feminine. Feminine. The sister should be volunteering for this. No, singular feminine. This is not new, by the way. What I'm asking you to do is old. This is not new. Yeah. Exactly. Al-mu'minatu fil jannati. Thank you. All right. Now let's take that sentence and make it plural. Okay. So we had al-mu'minatu. Okay. But except the al. Except the al. The al makes what? The al makes the tanween go away. So it becomes al-mu'mina. Where did we get T from? No, I want to know, where did T come from? It's the peer pressure in this circle over here that's just causing it. Al-mu'mina tu fil jannati. Now, someone tell me, why is it al-mu'mina tu? Why is it? Andre? It's the subject of the nominal sentence. Exactly. It's the subject of the nominal sentence which takes dhamma. Therefore, al-mu'minatu is al-mu'minatu because it's the subject of the sentence. That's it. Okay. Now, let's take this example and replace the word al-kafiruna with muslimat. Keep in mind, this example was wrong, by the way. So be careful of this. This one actually was a ya. Because wajadtu, this is the object of the verb. Yeah, that just takes more time, I know. I will do it again. Alright. Wajadtu blank fil jannati. Okay, so the blank is the Muslim women, plural. So, yes, Auntie. Good, but the. Perfect. Wajadtu al-muslimati. Right? Fil jannati. Now, somebody explain to me, why is there a kasra here? Because of fi? No. Fi only works something that comes after it. It's not powerful enough to do something from before. Yes.
Muslim not D because it is the object of a verb and it's supposed to end in a fatha, the plural to go and
Exactly. So it is this al-muslimati is the object of this verb, and the object of the verb should take a fatha unless it's the sound feminine plural, and in that case it will take a kasra when it's supposed to take a fatha. It's just, this is the way you should remember it. Okay, this is a good way to remember it.
Al-Muslimatin came from Al-Muslimatin, which is the plural. Is that correct?
What's that?
Al-Muslimati came from Al-Muslimatin, which is the plural.
Muslim, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So all we did was instead of two kasra, we put one arch.
Yeah, that's because of the al. But why kasra? The question, you really got to focus on the kasra.
We said earlier, it's the subject, it's being, but it's the...
Exactly. That's it. That's the rule. So here's one way to look at it. Okay, let me teach you this. So, jalasat, wajadtu, and okay, everyone focus here. Focus here. There's only every noun that we've seen, right? We have to figure out, does it take a dhamma, a kasra, or a fatha? There's only three options, right? Okay, we don't learn anything else besides that. So we have option number 1, we have option number 2, we have option number 3. Option number 1, it takes a dhamma. Option number 2, it takes a fatha. Option number 3, it takes a kasra under the line, right? Now, option number 1, 2, and 3 are perfect examples by looking at some of these verbs. So if I want to say jalasat, and then I want to indicate who sat down, the subject of the verb will always be option number 1. The subject of the verb takes a dhamma, right? So I could put jalasat muslimatun. I can say jalasat muslimatun. I can say jalasat al-muslimatu. I can say jalasat al-muslimatu. I can say jalasat al-mu'minatu. I can say jalasat al-kafiratu. I can say jalasat al-kafiratu. It's always gonna take a dhamma. Got that? Because it's the subject of the verb, right? Then we want to do test number 2. Wajadtu. Who did I find? I found al-muslimata, al-mu'minata, al-kafirata, because it's singular. Now I'm going to make it plural. Al-kafirati, al-mu'minati. Wajadtu mu'minatin. Wajadtu 1 mu'minatan. Kafiratan, jannatan, bintan. Seeing that? Wajadtu bintan, wajadtu mra'atan, wajadtu al-mar'ata. We're seeing the fathas coming because this is the object of the verb, right? Wajadtu al-qalama, wajadtu baytan, wajadtu madinatan. Right? Wajadtu al-muslim, plural. Plus masculine. Al-muslimina. Now feminine, plural. Al-muslimati. Wajadtu muslimatin. وجدت كافرات وجدت مؤمنات وجدت المؤمنات. Okay, now we go ذهبت إلى, I went to. ذهبت إلى البيت. ذهبت إلى الرجل. ذهبت إلى المرأة. ذهبت إلى المسلمة. تي ذهبت إلى المؤمنة تي ذهبت إلى الكافرة تي ذهبت إلى الكافرة تي ذهبت إلى المسلمة تي ذهبت إلى مؤمنات no ال ذهبت إلى بنت ذهبت إلى البنت ذهبت running out of words ذهبت إلى مدينة ذهبت إلى المدينة ذهبت إلى المسجد ذهبت إلى مسجد ذهبت إلى الكافرات ذهبت إلى كافرات Got it? Now we got it? No? Almost. It's getting clearer, right? So now, what we just did was, we just saw all these examples of how a word will take a dhamma or be in the position of a word which takes a dhamma. And this is known as, I'll teach this to you, this is known as marfu'. Okay? So whenever a word is supposed to take a dhamma, even if it doesn't, it's called marfu'. When it's supposed to take a fatha, it's called mansub. And when it's supposed to take a kasra, it's called majroor. Okay? Yeah, we'll stick with these words. There's an easier way to do it, but this is fine. So, every time I said jalasat al-mar'atu, the word al-mar'atu was marfu'. When I said jalasat al-muslimat, jalasat al-muslimat, they sat, they're doing the object, they're doing the verb, they're doing the action. Two. The doer of the verb takes a, so the doer of the verb is marfu'. The object of the verb is mansub. The word that comes after a preposition is majroor. The word that comes after a preposition, like ila, min, fi, ala, is majroor. If this, I don't know if this helps and makes it any easier, because the reason why maybe it makes it easier is because look, if you look at the word al-mu'minuna, you say, hey, you said it takes a dhamma, I don't see a dhamma on it. What it means is it was supposed to take a dhamma, but you don't see the dhamma. So technically, it's marfu'. Right? That's what it means. It's marfu'. It's in the state of marfu'. Does that help or does that mess it up? If it messes it up, just forget all these words. You can skip them. Right? That's fine, if it works for you. So, okay, let me ask you a question. Smart guy. Right? We got a question for you. No, I got a good question for you. The word muslimina, does it take dhamma, fatha, or kasra? The word muslimina, does it take dhamma, fatha? It takes what? MashaAllah. It takes fatha and kasra. Now, if I say wajadtul muslimina, does it take fatha, dhamma, or kasra? The word al-muslimina. Wajadtul muslimina.
It will take the fatha.
Very good. It will take fatha, mashallah. If you got that, you got it. Alright? If I said Zahabtu إلى المسلمات. The word al-muslimati takes fatha, dhamma, or kasra. And I don't mean by looking at it. I mean, what is it supposed to take? Supposed to take kasra. What if I say wajadtu al-muslimati? Supposed to take fatha, dhamma, or kasra? Exactly. Fatha. Okay, looks like we're getting it. All right, so let's move on now and look at some exercises. Subhanallah, 8:38. All right, exercise 8.1, even though it says 7.1, use your imagination. All right, so number 1, the believing men and the believing women are in the house. Volunteer number 1. Excellent. Al-mu'minuna wal-mu'minatu fil bayti. Now, if I ask you, why did you say al-mu'minuna? Because it's the subject of the nominal sentence. And why did you say al-mu'minatu instead of al-mu'minati? It's also the subject of the nominal sentence because it's the end, conjunction. They're both the subject. Good. Very good. Anyone have questions on that? It's not clear to you.
Well, I don't get it. For Dhamma, you put a Dhamma like Dun, but for Kasra, you do Dan, but then for Fatha, you do Dan.
Yeah, don't try to rationalize it, just memorize it. Memorize. No rationalizing in Arabic class, inshallah. With practice, you'll get it, inshallah. Number 2, the prophets went to the garden. The volunteer number 2. No, we're only using the sound plural right now. So, without microphone. 5 minutes, but without microphone. All right. So say it again one more time. The prophets went to the garden. Is that okay, you're too fast for me? Is that Zahabta? Okay, now al-anbiya is not the sound plural. So use the sound one. Okay. With al or without al? Okay. Yes. Ilal hatiqati. Good. So we saw Zahabta nabiyuna ilal hadiqati. What does Zahabta mean? Means Zahabta means you went. Right? So we're looking at yes. Zahaba. Good. Zahaba nabiyuna ilal hadiqati. That is correct.
Sahaba will be both singular and plural?
Yes, it will. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna teach you that later, so shouldn't have put this here, but khair. Number 3, easier. I did not find the disbelievers in the mosque. Ma wajadtu you said al-kafirina fil masjid. Fil masjid. Any objections to this? Who agrees with it? Any people who agree that this is correct? Anyone disagrees with it? Anyone wants to go with the Allahu A'lam? Allah knows best answer. Alright. Ma wajad. Okay, so let's look at it. I did not find. How do you say I did not find? Ma wajadtu. The disbelievers. Okay. The disbelievers in plural by itself is al-kafiruna. Now you said ma wajadtu. Now the word al-kafiruna is in the position of being the what of the verb? The object. And the object is supposed to take fatha. And when you want to put a fatha on the word al-kafiruna, it turns into al-kafirina. So ma wajadtu al-kafirina in the mosque. Fil masjid. Yes? Yes. Almost at the coffee break. The caffeine start going into the veins directly to the brain, waking you up, inshallah. Number 4, the signs are in gardens. Don't put the word the twice in there. Not the gardens, in gardens. The signs are in gardens. So number 4. Who's my volunteer number 4? How do we say the signs? Volunteer, please. Al-ayatu. Fil. That's plural though. Use the word Jannah. Plural. Yes. Fi jannatin. Okay. Al-ayatu fi jannatin. Does anyone have a question on why? Okay, so why is it tanween jannatin? Because it doesn't have al. Why is it a kasra? Because of the fi. Why is it al-ayatu? Why is it a u? Because it's the subject. That's it. Fil hadiqatin. Remember, al and tanween don't mix. Yeah, but we're using the word jannah. So fi jannatin. Because the plural of hadiqa is different. Okay? Alright. Now, number 5. خلق الله المؤمنات والكافرين. المؤمنات والكافرين. Okay. You got one of them right and one of them wrong. Now you figure out which one you got right and which one you got wrong. So he said, خلق الله المؤمنات والكافرين. Actually, no, you got both of them wrong. I'm sorry. Because they're both women, right? So al-kafirina is referring to men. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write this. خلق الله what did you say? Al-mu'minatu wal-kafirina. Okay, this is what he initially said. Okay, so now what we want to do is, okay, I'm telling you, this one has one mistake. How do we fix this mistake? It's not, the mistake is not related to the al. Hold on, let him figure it out. And when you see him figuring it out, you'll be figuring it out too. So, look, he's checking. Is it related to al? That's a good question. It's not related to al. If he said it would be related to al, because al and can't mix, right? So, it's not related to al. So, what else could be the problem?
it should be.
Okay, good. So you're getting closer. It should be fatha. Why?
Because it's not a subject.
It's the object of the verb. So he's on the right step. So he said it's al-mu'minata because the fatha, because it's the object of the verb. But there's one rule he forgot. And what's that rule? Yes. So whenever you have this plural feminine like this, atu, you can never get a fatha here. The rule is it becomes a kasra. So even though it's supposed to be fatha, you're right, it just cannot take a fatha. It doesn't have the ability. So memorize this rule. The word al-muslimatu cannot take al-muslimata. You can never see al-muslimata, al-mu'minata, al-kafirata, al-jannata. You cannot find it. It doesn't exist. Do you understand? It's clear? That's it. So the moment you see someone speaking and you say, hey, you know, I learned this new word, you know, wajadtul mu'minata. You're like, no, not correct. Why? Because it's the rule. That's it. It's the rule. So it should be al-mu'minati. So we got that. Now, what's the problem here? What does al-kafirina mean? The disbelieving men. And what is the question asked? Disbelieving women. Right? So if this was International Women's Day, they would be really upset. Right? Yeah, I know. I'm following the Facebook debate. Yeah, don't worry. Huh? Okay, good. So now we're getting to the feminine, right? See, I just crossed out the men. So, al-kafira. Okay. Now the question is it u, a, or e? E. Because it's the object and it has a. Very good. That's it. All right. Last number 6. She went to the Muslims because the believers are in the city. So let's write down everything she says. ذهبت إلى المسلمين. Didn't we learn because? It's in the next chapter. Oh, okay, my mistake. It's in the next chapter. So skip the because. Okay, let's just stop here. Is this correct? She went to the Muslims. Is this correct or not? ذهبت إلى المسلمين.
I think that's wrong conjugation.
No, it's right. Al-Muslimin. ذهبت إلى المسلمين. Okay? Good. We still have a few more minutes till break, inshallah. Can we take a deep breath? Just take a deep breath. Breathe in and out. Yes.
If we take out the because and continue the sentence,
Yeah.
then it will be the believers are in the city. Will be
No, forget the rest. Skip. Don't worry about the rest. Skip the rest. Okay. We're clear? We clear? There's just a lot of hesitation. Inshallah, it's gonna sink in. All right. Number 2. Example 2. Banatul Anbiya'i huna fil Madinati. The daughters of the prophets are here in the city. So what do we learn here? We learn what's called the broken plural. The broken plural is the opposite of the blank plural. What is the flip like? Sound plural. Okay? So, most plurals of nouns are broken plurals. They're not sound plurals. So what happens in a broken plural? The original word that you have, you insert additional letters into what you originally had beforehand. Okay? So what we saw in the sound plural, right, was what? You take a word and you add something at the end, right? Suffix at the end. But not the broken plural. So look at the word kabir. Kabir. And the plural is kibar. Okay. So what happened? The kaf stays in position number 1. The ba stays here. This ya is gone completely. And it turned into a alif. And the ra stayed here. Okay, so we're good. Right? Now let's look at the word ghani. Ghani. Right? The plural is niya. Right? So now look what happened here. We got this hamza that came in the beginning. Then the ghain stayed the same. The noon stayed there. The ya stayed there. And then you get an alif. And then you get another hamza. Right? So you're getting letters in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Whereas in the sound plural, you only get letters in the end. Exactly. That's the only difference between them. Okay? But the cool thing is, so that's the difficult part. But the easy part is, these letters don't change order. So even though everything is being inserted, you'll never find these letters flipping around and you get some. The ghain comes at the end and then the noon comes before it. You won't get that. So that makes life a little bit easier. You have to memorize the plurals of every single word because there is no predictable, 100% predictable pattern. Whereas if the word takes a sound plural, if you know it takes a sound plural, all you need to memorize is una, ina, atun, and atin. You're done. But if you wanted broken plurals, there's a bunch of patterns and there's so many of them, you don't know which one's going to apply. So if you memorize all the patterns, you know one of these 10 patterns will apply, but you don't know which one. So it makes life a little bit difficult. So don't worry about it. You'll get the feel for it after a while, but there's no way you can predict it and figure it out. You just have to memorize. From now on, every time you memorize the singular word, you have to memorize the plural word along with it. And you keep them connected together. You cannot use the sound plural with most plurals, with most words. So you can't just get away with using the sound plural. Otherwise, that would make life easier. But you can't. Right? So you just can't. That's the way it is. So let's look at the examples. Kabir becomes kibar. Masjid becomes masajidu. Ghaniyun becomes aghniya'u. Right? So we see that? Pretty clear, pretty straightforward, right? So let's look at some exercises. The pens are for the girls. How do you say depends? Just keep your vocabulary sheet in front of you on one side. Al-aqlamu for the girls. Lil banati. Good. Number 2. The men are here. Okay. If my volunteers can be louder, please. My 5 volunteers. Excellent. Ar-rijalu huna wan-nisa'u hunaka. Good. Number 3. You found the boys in the house. وجدت الأولاد في البيت. Excellent. The messengers are from the cities. The messengers, Rasul, Ar-Rusulu, from the cities. Minal muduni. Good. This is in. I'm making it easier for you. This is in. How do you say this? Hada. In. Okay. The hearts of the poor ones. This is idafa. This is a construct state. The hearts of the poor ones. Yes. قلوب الفقراء. Excellent. هذا في. Oh, sorry, not al. Did you say al or no? No, you didn't. هذا في قلوب الفقراء. All right, last one, and then we're done. It's number 6. Break. The trees are in the gardens. Al-ashjaru in the gardens. Fil jannati or fil hadaiqi. Good. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Take a break, drink some tea, pray some Isha, and we'll come back inshallah. After Salah.
الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Allah Akbar.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا وإن خفتم ألا تقسطوا في اليتامى فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا وآتوا النساء صدقاتهن نحلة فإن طبن لكم عن شيء منه نفسا فكلوا هنيئا مريئا ولا تؤتوا السفهاء أموالكم التي جعل الله لكم قياما وارزقوهم فيها واكسوهم وقولوا لهم قولا معروفا وابتلوا اليتامى حتى إذا بلغوا النكاح فإن آنستم منهم رشدا فادفعوا إليهم أموالهم ولا تأكلوها إسرافا وبدارا أن يكبروا فمن كان غنيا فليستعفف ومن كان فقيرا فليأكل بالمعروف فإذا دفعتم إليهم أموالهم فأشهدوا عليهم وكفى بالله حسيبا. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. للرجال نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون وللنساء نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون مما قل منه أو كثر نصيبا مفروضا. وإذا حضروا القسمة أولو القربى واليتامى والمساكين فارزقوهم وقولوا لهم قولا معروفا. وليخشى الذين لو تركوا من خلفهم ذرية ضعافا خافوا عليهم فليتقوا الله وليقولوا قولا سديدا. إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Oh, yeah.
Stop there, so I'm just. Yeah, she's 12. So I am gonna.
Did you hand out the other words?
The students who are already here before let's set. Yeah. So yeah, then class.
Okay. What's that? Maybe end of next quarter or third quarter. If people survive this class and the second class, I'm thinking of canceling the Beliefs 2 class and replacing it with Arabic 3. Apologetics, debating on issues of like atheism and stuff. I'm thinking about maybe because we studied it quite a bit, maybe enough, and then it'll be more in the debate class. So maybe it's enough, inshallah. The dual? Yeah, this is the end almost. Oh yeah, I was thinking about maybe we won't do it, but then it just when we do it, we have to go back and learn all the pronouns, the verbs. It's just too much, So it's better we introduce it now. Alaikum assalam.
Did you handle the exam?
We did to half the students, and the other half they just arrived. They're recording the grades, and then we're gonna hand it back end of class, inshallah. 9:20. I think break should be over, inshallah. 1 minute? No, let's start. It's 9:20. Let's start. Inshallah. At the end of class, I'll take it, inshallah. Let's.
You said you're gonna talk to me at break.
Yeah, you didn't come to me before. Now we have to wait till end of class, inshallah.
Never mind.
End of class, inshallah. All right, let's continue, so we can at least finish this chapter, inshallah. Okay, so we did exercise 8.2. Now we move on to example 3. Okay, so example 3 is. Can I have one of my volunteers read it, please? Yes. الرجال كبار والنساء صغيرات. Just make sure this is running. Yes, it is. All right. So this means the men are old and the women are young. So what do we learn here? All we learn is how to use an adjective with plurals that refer to people. Now, both the predicate and the attributive adjective must be plural when the noun is plural and referring to people. So let's take a look at some examples here. We saw 2 types of adjectives being used, right? Okay, so the first one is الرجل كبير, right? Where is the adjective? I mean, it's not an attributive adjective, but is there an adjective? كبير, right? كبير. So الرجل كبير means the man is big. Now, كبير is actually a what? In what position? Predicate. Right? It's a predicate of the sentence, right? Then we saw the next example. We have kabirun, which is a predicate. What is this? Al-Muslimu. It's an attributive adjective, right? I saw that, by the way. No problem. You can eat in class. It's not a problem. Yeah, you look like you were hiding it, trying to like sneak. Oh, you weren't hiding it? Okay. Okay, alhamdulillah. It looked like you were sneaking it in your mouth.
All right. الرجل المسلم كبير. This is an attributive adjective, and this is the what is this? Predicate. Good. So technically, they're both describing something, right? Now all we want to learn is how do you make this plural? That's all we learn. So if you want to take the word الرجل, make it plural. What do you get? الرجال. Okay? And you want to take the word kabir and make it plural, you get? Kibarun. So you get the sentence الرجال kibarun, which means the men are big or old, actually, technically, right? The men are big or the men are old. Now here, you want to make this entire sentence plural. Okay? So الرجل, the plural is الرجال. Now we have al-Muslim, which is attributive adjective, right? How do we make this plural? Al-Muslimuna. Good. Al-Muslimuna. And then we have Kabir becomes Kibar. Okay. Now the question is, why is this Al-Muslimuna instead of Al-Muslimina? Because it's supposed to have a Dhamma, right? And why is it supposed to have a Dhamma? Because it's not that it's the subject, but it clones and copies the subject, which has a Dhamma. Right? So you could call it the subject if you wanted to, it's not a problem. Either way works. So it's الرجال المسلمون كبار. So what we learn is, whenever you have an adjective, attributive adjective, or a predicate, you look at the plural here. If الرجل is singular, this is going to be singular. If الرجل is singular, the attributive adjective al-Muslimu is singular, right? And if it's plural, it becomes plural. If it's plural, the predicate becomes plural. Okay? This only applies when the plural is referring to persons. Persons. Ar-rijalu is referring to a person, people, yes, right? People who have, the human beings with rational intelligence, yes, ar-rijalu. What if I said, how do I say the disbelievers are far? Al-kafiruna ba'iduna. Right, works, right? What if I put the word al-muslimuna refers to people? Does al-muslimuna refer to people? Yes. Does al-mu'minatu refer to people? Yes. Does al-kutubu refer to people? No. So this rule, when you make the adjectives plural, only applies when the thing that it's describing refers to people. Okay? And let's look at the second example in the same sentence here. وَالنِّسَاءُ صغيراتٌ. Okay. So the plural of al-mar'atu is an-nisa'u. The plural of saghiratun is saghiratun. Right? So wan-nisa'u saghiratun makes sense. You take the original was what? Al-mar'atu. Saghiratun. That's the original. Al-mar'atu saghiratun, you make the plural. An-nisa'u saghiratun. Right? That's it. That's all there is to it. Let's try some exercises. Exercise 7 or 8.3. It says 7.3. The boys are tall and the girls are short. Okay, so you have to have the words in front of you. First thing you do is identify the words. How do you say boys? Awlad. How do you say tall? Just tall, singular. Tawil. How do you say girls? Girls. Banat. How do you say short? Qasir. Now we gotta modify these and make it into this sentence. So once you know your vocab, if you don't know your vocab, you're not gonna be able to do a sentence. Now that you know your vocab, how do we combine this? The boys are tall. What's the first part? Volunteer number 2. Left. Okay. Volunteer number 3. Al-awladu, tall. Tiwalun, good. And the girls are short. Walbanatu. Okay, good. Qisarun, you said qisarun. Now that plural that you're seeing on the paper applies for masculine. Okay, so when it comes to feminine, you use the sound feminine plural. You do use the sound plural. So use the feminine sound plural. How do you make the sound? Muslim, Muslima becomes Muslimat. Qasira becomes Qasirat. So, wal banatu qasiratun. Good. So we have the boys are tall. Al awladu tiwalun wal banatu what is it? Qasiratun. Right? No. So look, we don't use the broken plural for feminine. We always use the sound plural. I should have written that more clearly, but not just write that down. That's the rule. So for feminine, for the masculine, we look up the broken plural. For feminine, remember the question you asked? The brother asked the question, can we just use the sound plural all the time? Una, ina. For masculine, no. For feminine, yes. You got it? It makes life a lot easier. So all the feminine ones, so let's take the word kabir. What is the feminine of kabir? No, just the singular. Kabiratun. Okay, how do you make it plural? Kabiratun. Right? How do you take the word kabirun and make it plural? It's on your paper. Kibarun. Right? So take the word no. Take the word give me another adjective. The one that we didn't use so far. Ba'id. Okay. So the word ba'id, how do you make it plural masculine? Ba'iduna. How do you make the word ba'id feminine singular? Ba'idatun. How do you make it feminine plural? Ba'idatun. Good. We got it? Make sense? That's the way it works. Okay? Yes.
How if we somehow we have to use Jabal or Jibal, how are we gonna make it feminine?
You don't, because the mountain.
No, but like there are many words which don't make sense, like Ba'idun, why do we have to make it feminine? Like the same extension.
Because if the word ba'idun was referring to a woman, it's describing a woman's position, you make it feminine. If it's describing a man's position, you make it masculine. Yeah, it's not describing the mountain, right? So the mountain cannot describe something else, not adjective. All right. So next one. The believing men are rich. The believing men are rich. Volunteer, yes. What? Al-Muslimuna. You could say al-Rijal, but you don't have to. You don't have to, because the believing men just put in parentheses men. Right? So al-Muslimuna. Aghni. Ya. U or un? Un? How do you know? So here's the thing. Does the word aghniya take a tanween or it doesn't? What is it? How do you check? You look in your vocabulary list and you see if it has a dhamma at the end of it or not. If it has a dhamma, it doesn't take tanween. If it doesn't have a dhamma, it takes tanween. Does it have a dhamma in your list? It has a dhamma? It says dhamma, right? Okay, so it does not take tanween. So it's al-Muslimuna, aghniya. Where did E come from? Is there a min there? Ila, ala? No. So it's aghniya. Ooh. Alright. Al-Muslimuna, aghniya. The believing men are rich. Good. Yes.
For wherever the word believing or believe comes in, you prefer Muslimun or Muslims?
Oh yeah, you're right. So believing, I prefer the word mu'min. Yeah. So it should be al-mu'minuna aghniya. Good. No. Yeah, the believing men. So actually, the men is in parentheses. Yeah. Okay, number 3. The young disbelievers are in the mosque. So first we start out by writing the young disbelievers. So my volunteer, number 1. What's the Saghir is the singular. What is the plural of Saghir? It's in your note. Just look at your notes. You don't have to memorize this right now. Somebody help her. Read it to her. What is the plural of Saghir? Sighar. Okay. So al-kafiruna. Al-kafiruna. As-sigha. What do you say? As-sigharu. Good, that's correct. The young disbelievers are in the mosque. Fil masjidi. Good. What's that? Da? Yeah. Fil masjidi. Al-kafiruna as-sigharu fil masjidi. Yes. So here's the thing. Remember, the rule is not every word takes the sound plural for masculine. So if you look at your list and you look at the plural of saghir, if it says una, it can take it. If it doesn't say una, it can't take it. Okay? Alright, good. Number 4. The strong prophets are near this. Skip this one. We'll do number 6 and then we'll move on. Number 6. The light women sat down. Hold on. The light women sat down.
Is it a verbal sentence?
Yeah, if there's a verb, it's a verbal sentence. Where's the verb? Sat. Verbal sentence. Alright, Sister Andrea, I'm going to pick on you. Bismillah. Yes. Okay. Sat. Okay. Sat. An-nisa. Did you say u? An-nisa'u. Okay, good. So far, so good. So here's the thing. How do you say light? How do you say light singular? Afif. How do you say light and turn into feminine now? Singular. Khafi? Just feminine, singular. Khafifa. Now turn it into plural. It follows the same pattern. Khafifat. Okay, so what should it be? Kha. Help me spell it. Kha. I have a khaf and I stopped. Alif here?
Yeah.
No alif? Or yes alif? Okay, look. Don't look at the plural in your vocabulary list because the feminine takes a sound plural. There we go. Okay, kha, fi, fa. Okay, if I write ta, who has a comment on that? Okay, if I write khafifata, who agrees with this? Disagree. Why do you disagree? Why can't it be a fatha? Okay, so what if it was the object of the verb? Then can it be khafifata? Because you can never have a fatha on the sound feminine plural. That's just the rule. Remember that rule? These rules, you just write them on a paper and you just look at them and say, oh, it's like a big red alert that went off. Nope, can't do it. Why is there a fatha? If you see like a tanween and then al, oh, why is there a tanween and al? Can't go together. That's it. So it can't be a fatha. So what should it be? Yes, should be a dhamma. So jalasat or jalasatin an-nisa'u al-khafifatu. Good? Good. You do the exercise at home, I guarantee you'll get it now, inshallah. You're getting it. Number 4. Al-kutubul. Remember there's an al there. Write the word al in front of jadida. Al-kutubul jadidatu fil masajidil qadimati. Okay. So now you're going to learn some weird rule and you're going to start going crazy and think, why in the world would it be like this? And remember what I told you? Don't ask why in Arabic class. You attend Islamic Law 3 Usul al-Fiqh and you can ask all the whys you want. But in Arabic, don't ask why. Alright, so you don't rationalize. You know the rule and that's it. Don't try to figure out what is the wisdom, underlying wisdom behind this. So the rule here is, see the word al-kutub? And then you have al-jadida tu. What is the word al-jadida tu? Is it singular or plural? It's singular and it's feminine. Al-jadidatu, al-kafiratu, al-qadimatu, al-ba'idatu, al-qaribatu, al-saghiratu, al-kabiratu. These are all singular and they're all feminine. Now here's the rule. The rule is whenever you have a plural in Arabic that refers to non-persons, like inanimate objects, mountains, trees, and concepts like cities, all of these things, whenever you have a plural that's not referring to persons, the adjective that's describing it, whether it's a predicate or attributed adjective, it's going to take singular feminine. And you're like, that's just weird. It's just weird. That's just the way it is. So here's the way it works. So when we said rijalun and we wanted to say big or old, we said kibarun. Rijalun kibarun means old men or big men. Right? Now you take the word jibal, right? Rijal, jibal, almost same rhyming pattern and everything. And if you say kibarun, it's wrong. You say kabiratun. And you say, well, wait a minute. Kabiratun, that's like saying bintun kabiratun. Right? Is bintun kabiratun correct? Yes, it is. Is jibalun kabiratun correct? Yes, it is. It is now, right? Why? Don't ask why, that's the rule, right? So the plural, which refers to things, takes a singular feminine plural when it's being described. Just put that rule in your mind. Right? Even if you have doubts about it or something like, it's okay to have doubts. In Arabic class, there's no problem. Your iman will still remain intact. This is the way the rule is. Got it? So if I'm referring to, if I want to say old cities, first I take the word cities, which is, I'm not asking you to memorize the plural, so look on your paper. Mudun. Okay. So old cities. Mudunun qadimatun. The old cities. Al-mudunul qadimatu. Right? Nearby gardens. Gardens. When I ask you for a plural, don't look up. Look down. Cheat. Look at the sheet. Don't pretend like you memorized it. I'm not expecting you to memorize it in the last hour. Right? Look, yes. Your pick. So just give me a plural. Gardens. Hada'iqu. Hada'iqu. What did I say? Nearby? Nearby. Qaribatun. Good. Nearby gardens. Good. Okay. The gardens are nearby. Al-hada'iqu qaribatun. Right? The gardens are near here. Louder. Al-hada'iqu qaribatun huna. Close. But see, this is what happens. When you learn new rules, you forget the old rules. So that's why I wanted to check everyone. What is the rule when you use the word qareeb? Min. You use the word min with it. So, al-hadaiqu qaribatun min huna. Right? Min huna. Okay. We're good? All right. Let's look at exercise 8.4. And then we'll stop here. Number 1. The books are old. The books. Yes. Al-kutubu. What is it? Kabir. Kabir is only old when it refers to persons. Okay. Al-kutubu qadimun. But it's books. Qadimatun. Because it's feminine singular, not masculine. Right? Okay. Number 2. The new mosques are clean. Raise your hand if you looked at it, thought about it, and now you know it.
By the way, would the word clean be in chapter 9?
The word clean is in chapter 9? Okay.
We did go through it, but
skip that one. You're right. Number 3. The tall, oh, that's even harder. Never mind. Okay, change this sentence. The new mosques are, we didn't learn clean, huh? We learned clean before. We learned it in chapter 8 last week only. We learned it a long time ago. We learned it a long time ago. You sure it was last week? Some people memorized it anyways, mashallah. Okay, the new mosques are small. The new mosques are small. Huh? It was week 6? Week 6, man. So weeks. Okay, back to clean again. The new mosques are clean. Osman. You're working something else. Okay, inshallah. Who would like to? From the sister side. Okay, the new mosques. Let's just start with that. Yes. Al-masajidu al-jududu. Okay. Nalifatun. Very good. Why did you say nalifatun? You're right. So it's not people, so it takes a feminine singular. What about the word new for mosques? It has to match what? Now, what is it describing? Mosques. So it should be al-masajidu al-jadidatu nadhifatun. Exactly. Okay. Masajid is not female, but when masajid is plural, when it's being described, it's gonna take this weird singular feminine, right? So the answer is al-masajidu what was it? Al-jadidatu, right? Al-jadidatu nadhifatun. Good. All right. Al-masajidu al-jadidatu nadhifatun. Got this? We will, inshallah, by the next break. So, alhamdulillah, the midterms are all graded. You're going to be getting them right now. Anyone did not get their midterm back? Okay, you should be getting them like now. I don't know why they're not here yet, but they'll be here inshallah in a second. Oh, you get them in 2 minutes. So we get to keep on going for 2 more minutes and they will be here. All right, so let's continue on to the next one. Midterm wise, who's happy with their scores so far that they got? Who's pretty happy? Alhamdulillah. Who's not happy? Okay, who did good but they're not happy? All right. Okay, alhamdulillah. If you didn't do good, you're still happy. Inshallah. So what I'm thinking is inside information. If enough people pass this class and they pass the second class, I'm thinking about taking out the Beliefs 2 class and substituting it with the Arabic 3 class. Anyone interested in that? Anyone disagree with that? We can only have 18 classes in the degree. Okay, I'll say it slowly. Oslan, the Arabic class. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna say it in Arabic, inshallah, to make it clear. No, okay. All right. So we have a Beliefs 2 class coming up in the syllabus. So I'm thinking about replacing the Beliefs 2 class with an Arabic 3 class, which we don't have in the syllabus right now. So would anyone prefer the Beliefs 2 class over the Arabic class? You have to, okay.
We have to have Belief 1 to take the...
Yeah, you have to have Beliefs 1. Did anyone take Beliefs 1? Okay, anyone not going to be happy if we replace Beliefs 2 with Arabic 3? I know you don't, but you don't know what's in Arabic 3 either. But you at least know the topic. Yes. Yeah, that's the goal anyway. I'm just wondering. I'm just getting a feel for it. Yeah, you have to pass Arabic 2. A lot of people have to pass Arabic 2. Then we'll have a 3, inshallah. We'll see, inshallah. Yes.
For Tajweed class 1, we didn't have enough practice.
Yes.
It would be better if we do that Arabic when we practice Quran in a class.
With Tajweed, you mean? Yeah, no, inshallah, what we're planning on doing is for the next, we're bringing somebody, alhamdulillah, we're hiring a full-time person within 2 weeks, inshallah. So that's going to help a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement a lot of new ideas. One of the new ideas is we're going to have some mentors in the class who's going to be mentoring students. So we're going to make that facility available for Tajweed students and for other students. Same time of the class, inshallah. Okay. Let's not go with too many suggestions right now. Let's 9:55. She should be here any minute now. Monday, Sister Sana is going over the entire midterm and explaining everything. Anything you got wrong, you don't understand, you have a question, go on Monday's session. She's going to go through the entire thing. Who is actually going to attend that? And when I say inshallah, not the inshallah that, you know what, you're not going to put it in your calendar, you're not going to try to remember, and you're hoping that some angel is going to come pick you up and throw you there, and inshallah you'll be there. Otherwise, I didn't make it. Inshallah means you're going to put in your calendar, you're going to put an alarm on it, you're going to tell your work, you're going to block your schedule, and you're going to drive, and if the tire is flat, then that Allah stops you from going. Who's going to go on Monday? So I know how many people are going, so I can tell her 4 people, inshallah, 4 people. Okay, so we expect you there. All right, so your midterms are available for pickup outside. If you have any questions about the grade, you can ask me, or you can ask the TA, or you can ask Sister Sana on Monday. If you have any issues or problems with the points or something, you can ask me, and we will see you. Do we have class next week? Yeah, we have class next week.
Any idea when the finals, like, right after the last class?
Yes,
So March 27th is the last class.
I guess so.
And then the very next week.
Then the next week is finals, inshallah. طيب. All right. That's a great question for Sister Mina, who's outside. So, huh? 7:30? Are you sure it's not 7? 7:30 to 9:30. There you go. Inshallah. طيب, yes. Yes, finals are here. Inshallah. طيب, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نستغفرك الله ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
Yeah, Farhan. You know the actual plural for the words nas and insan for insan, and then there's something, and then so what's the actual plural for nas? Like the words in asterisks.
There's no plural for nas, but insan is ins.
Hence.
Yes.
Wow. And what about the other word? Like the other word that was in asterisks?